Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. So just wanted to go over this build that I've been theory crafting for the upcoming League 3.20. It's Chaos.Occultist. We're going to be using Bane, Soulrend, and Essence Drain as well. It's a pretty fun build. You can still just your typical Bane, just run around and it'll kill stuff. I have Essence Drain here, which casts super fast, and I'll get into that in a second. And then you have Soulrend. I've never really seen anybody use Soulrend, and I love chaos damage, and just any kind of build that goes around chaos. It's like Forbidden Right, still my favorite build ever. But yeah, it's a super cool skill, so we'll get into that as well. First off, we will get into the gear. So the staff, this one was expensive to craft. There aren't any in standard right now with the fractured level of all chaos spell skill gems. So, with the fracturing orbs, these should hopefully become a little more common, but we'll see how that goes. I did get the one Eclipse staff that has global crit chance. The block spell damage, block attack damage would have been better, but this is the only one that I could find. I think I paid like 40 divines for it. Got pretty lucky. As far as crafting this goes, once you get one that has fractured, even if you get like +2 to level of all chaos spell skill gems, it's still going to be great. I literally just hit it with essences, just every essence that I could until I got the +2 level of all spell skill gems. There's really only one way to go about it. You have to do prefixes cannot be changed, and then go to the Forbidden Trove or use somebody that you trust and do an Ashling Slam, and then hope you get spell damage. It's really the only way there is to get it, as far as I know. After that, you just do prefixes cannot be changed again, and then reforge chaos until you get some chaos.multi. I stopped at tier 4. It does a lot of damage, and I didn't want to brick it. Get some useless suffixes, because it can happen. And then just craft on chaos damage. And yeah, use the hardest enchant for increased area of effect. For the helmet, it's a regular crown. It's the best in slot. I tried the elevated hunter, -12 chaos resistance to nearby enemies. There's no beating it, honestly, for really any chaos build, I don't think. The enchant for increased effect of curses applied by Bane is actually going to go down to 10%, which kind of sucks. There's a bunch of different enchants you can get on it. That's just the one that I have on mine. Ashes of the Stars is what it is. Helps with mana reservation, gives you another +1 for all your skill gems. Quality is a big one. And then just Anoint Corruption. The rings, they're very simple. You just take an Iolite ring, hit it with Deafening Essences of Envy. It gives you that increased chaos damage. I'm actually using Shrieking on this one until you get whatever you need, res or stats. It's the same body armor that I've been using since I bought it, because it's super expensive and it's very versatile. You could use the Skin of the Lord, Skin of the Loyal if you want. It's hard because you have to find the exact socket colors, because you can't change them. For this one, just Deafening Essence of Loathing to get the mana reservation until I got tier 2 increased armor evasion energy shield and some res, and then craft on Cannot Avoid Ailments to try and get as close to ailment enemy as possible. I'm still not there yet. Same thing with this ring, just Deafening Essence of Envy on an Iolite ring to get more chaos damage. Craft on the non-channeling skills, have a -6 or -7. These gloves, this was a pretty fun craft actually. Basically just take some Shaper gloves, get elevated faster casting, and then just awaken or orb them onto some gloves that have chaos damage over time multiplier from Hunter. I got somewhat lucky. I literally just had those 2 suffixes and then some junky prefixes. So I did Reforge Caster, or suffixes cannot be changed, Reforge Caster, just to fill up the suffixes. The crit multi doesn't really matter, for this build at least. And then you do Veiled Chaos Orb, craft Fizz as, Cold, Fire, whatever, until you get Socketed AoE or Socketed Projectile. Doesn't matter which one you get, and then craft on the other one. What that does is it adds more levels your Essence Drain, because it's a duration, projectile, chaos, AoE spell. Mage Blood. I got the enemies withered by you have -6, which is nice. And for these, it's just regular Crusader 2-tone, stack on armor and evasion, and a little bit of energy shield. I just use essences to get some more avoid elemental ailments. spam them until I got a chance to avoid being frozen. Got lucky and got some strength, because you do need strength on this build. Suffixes cannot be changed. Veiled Chaos Orb, craft mana. I got lucky and got movement speed, cannot be chilled. If you don't get that, if you get one of like, if you haven't been hit recently, or Onslaught, something like that, if that works for you, then you can keep that. If not, then just do it again. You can brick them though, like you hit them with that Veiled Chaos Orb, and then it gives you 2 prefixes and the Veiled prefix, then you're stuck. As far as the flasks go, it's the Amethyst Flask. Get more Chaos Res because I'm not CI for once. Regular Life Flask with Bleeding and Corrupted Blood. I do have the Corrupted Blood implicit on a jewel, but Bleeding's rough. That's a regular Jade Flask with some increased cast speed. Quicksilver Flask with 38% T1 Ellie Res, so I'm Ellie Res capped without having to really get a lot anywhere else in the build. And then just a Granite Flask. It's a legacy one. You can use the new ones. Well rolled with the increased effect with T1 on it. That works too. Now, as far as the build goes, I have Awaken Greater Multiple Projectile Support, Awaken Swift Affliction, level 4 in Power, Awaken Control Destruction, almost level 20 Efficacy, and then 21, 23 Soulrend. When I'm fighting bosses, I'll switch out the Greater Multiple Projectiles for Awaken Void Manipulation. In the helmet, it's regular Molten Shell on the left click, and Enlighten to help with Divergent Vitality, which gives you extra damage when you're on full life, which is super nice. And then Anomalous Withering Step. Anomalous is important because it immediately inflicts 11 Withered debuffs, and 15 is the max you can get, so you already start out with 11, which is super nice. It's a lot of auras and 3 skills. That's really all it is. For the body armor, I got 6 linked with Enlighten level 4. Then we got Malevolence, Clarity, Anomalous Determination, a little bit more stun avoidance. It's Flame Dash in there because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. And Vow Grace. Over here, this is Essence Drain, so we've got Awaken Swift Affliction, Awaken Void Manipulation, 21, 23 Essence Drain, and then a level 2 Awaken Control Destruction. I'm still leveling that one up. Over here is Bane. So Bane will still work. It's still going to be a good way to apply 3 curses at one time. It's going to be weaker. At the bottom, applied curses have 25% increased effect is going to be gone. So, this is what it is. But yeah, so Bane linked to Despair, Punishment, and Temp Chains. I'm probably going to switch to some of the alternate quality gems once the POB gets updated. Just kind of see, because I think like Anomalous and Divergent of some of them are actually going to be better. But we'll see. Skill tree, you know, it's the right side. Chaos dot. Come up here, we got the Replica Conqueror's Efficiency with the Corrupted Blood implicit. You don't need that. You do need to Replica Conqueror's Efficiency because mana, these skills take a lot of mana. It's 65 every time I cast Soulrend. Essence Drain is 21. Really just Soulrend. That's the only one that really burns through mana. You know, I can cast Essence Drain all day long. Large Cluster Jewel, Touch Cruelty, Unholy Grace, Wicked Pale. And then damage over time and chaos damage over time. And just any kind of damage over time, chaos damage over time jewel that you can get. This is a good one to have as well. The Hypnotic Eye Jewels, you can get an extra 2% when you wither an enemy. Then if you get something with spell damage, spell chaos damage, all lead on 2 and a weapon, that's even better. Nothing special, you know. Ghost Dance because you have evasion and energy shield. It's pretty much always a must-have if you're on the side of the tree and you have evasion and energy shield. You know, evasion nodes, damage over time nodes. If you do get a Watcher's Eye and you're trying to go for one, to me I would say the best one is Dot Multi while affected by Malevolence, and then Life for enemy hit while affected by Vitality. Because all the skills that you use actually hit. Bane hits, Soulrend hits, Essence Drain hits. For Ascendancies, so we got Malediction, which you're going to lose Malediction. I'm really hating on Occultist this league, but whatever. You still get the additional curse. And then Profane Bloom, you're going to lose the Hexes can affect hexproof enemies, but you're still going to get the Profane Bloom explode, which is nice. And then Withering Presence and Void Beacon, it's more chaos damage, more chaos res, and inflicting withered nearby enemies. So you start at 11 every time you hit Withering Step. Then you get one more stack every second. Alright, so we'll pull up the POB here so you can kind of see what we're working with here. So I added custom modifier, 25 less effect of your curses to try and counteract them nerfing Bane. Trying to nerf Bane, I should say. Skills, I already went over those. Items, it's all the same stuff. So with just Soulrend, with Void Manipulation and Swift Affliction, not Awaken Grid or multiple projectiles, doing 3.7 million dot. When doing dot builds, I don't really like to count total DPS because that's just your hit. You're hitting for 543,000. I mean, it's a decent amount of damage. But once you're getting into like, bossing, uber bossing, stuff like that, your hit damage isn't really going to do much. It's the dot that you really want to focus on. And then we got Bane. It doesn't do a lot of damage, 500,000, but it applies 3 curses. And you can map with it. It'll pretty much kill, maybe not a super juice T16 map. You might have to use Soulrend as well, but just a regular all can go T16 map. You can Bane pretty much the whole thing. And then Essence Drain doing 1.3 million. As far as the configuration goes, if you do import the path building, you don't have to change much. If you do it before 320 drops and you want to test and see what you can do, then make sure you add this line right here. So you're always killing, pretty much, unless it's a boss, but it doesn't really change too much. Just gives you a little bit of a energy shield regen. You do have flasks active, no charges. Always on full life, energy shield. You always have energy shield. And the only thing you want to do is add 15 withered stacks over here. That's it. Make sure you change this to Guardian or Pinnacle Boss, obviously. Don't mess with this over here, the res or anything like that, because the calculation's already taken into effect. If you want to see right here, enemy resistance is -11, and it shows you right there, Despair does -13, the Mage Blood, if withered, is at least 1, and the Hypnotic Eye Jewel, so that does -6, -2, and then -20 from Void Beacon, increased damage taken. So I said in the last video, when people mess with the reses over here, it's kind of like they're puffing up their POB. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell.